So some of you might be wondering, what Linux distro is my favorite? So in today's video, we will be checking that out. And by that, I mean we're, uh, we're doing a tier list. This is going to be pretty fun. So as usual, if you enjoy, like and subscribe. Let's get into it. So I made a little tier list here, best Linux distros. Obviously under the brands category, because that makes so much sense. And we have Windows on here, just because I want to trash on it. And then we have everything else here. And let's get ranking. So Windows, I'd probably give it like a C or a B tier, if I was being totally honest. But the issue is, everything that is Linux, in my opinion, completely demolishes Windows. So I don't want everything to just be C tier and up. I want it to be more like actually good looking, so we're gonna put it in F tier, just absolute garbage. Windows is the worst thing ever to happen to humanity. And then I put Android here, because it is technically just a really weird fork of Linux kernel. So I don't know how to rank it against everything else that we're gonna put on the list, but I mean, B tier. I use an Android phone, I don't really know why I put it on the list. Then we have Ubuntu. So, a lot of you guys are probably actually using Ubuntu right now. I don't like it. I really don't. It's probably one of my least favorite distributions. I'm gonna put it D tier. My issue with it is that it's just basically stock GNOME, which I hate GNOME, and also the fact that the only thing they seem to care about is snaps. I just don't like Ubuntu anymore. And then we have Zorin OS, which is based off of Ubuntu, which is kind of why Ubuntu is so low on the list, because there's many different forks of Ubuntu that are just better. So why does everyone use Ubuntu? I don't know. So honestly, you guys have seen my past videos. I love Zorin OS. It's probably one of my favorite distributions, especially for beginners. If you're a beginner, like, this is the best place to be. Either A tier or low S tier. Oh my gosh, that's difficult. I'm gonna put it S tier, actually. It's some good stuff. And then we have Linux Mint. How do I describe Linux Mint? It's great, but also I don't like it at the same time. So my issue with Linux Mint is that it looks like a relic from the 90s. Like, it looks very, very ugly, in my opinion. And yeah, sure, you can install some themes and all, but like, that out-of-box experience that most people are gonna get is just not great. Honestly, I'm gonna put it as a C tier, because like, when you get past the bad design, it's actually a really great core. Actually, I'm gonna put it in B tier, because I feel like that's better. It's really good under the hood. It's just, it looks like it's from the 90s. It looks terrible. And then we have Pop OS. Why does everyone love Pop OS so much? I get it. It has a few features made for gamers. But also at the same time, why? Like, why does it matter so much that there's a dedicated NVIDIA ISO? Like, you can just choose if you want to boot with NVIDIA drivers in the grub boot menu for most operating systems. So like, whoa, why? Why does this exist? I get it. I'm putting it at a C tier, and I really like their development crew. Like, they're really cool guys. I mean, if you look at them, they're making their own desktop environment now. It's really cool. I like the idea. It's just, there's not enough compelling features that make it that much better than Ubuntu. Then we have Deepin. Straight off the bat, S tier. Deepin is probably my second favorite Ubuntu-based distribution. Zorin obviously is my favorite, but Deepin is absolutely gorgeous. Deepin is one of the greatest distributions I know. It's really good. I like it a lot. Then we have Linux Lite. How do I even rank this, Linux Lite is not great, but also at the same time, it has its purpose. It's meant to run on really, really low-end and old hardware, and it does a really good job at fulfilling that purpose. So I mean, I don't know, B tier, it's good, but it's not, you're not gonna put this on your computer and daily drive it. It's something that you're gonna use if like you have a specific use case for it. Then we have Kubuntu, which is my third favorite fork of Ubuntu. So Kubuntu is basically Ubuntu, but with KDE Plasma, which is much, much better. Actually, I'm probably going to put A tier just because, you know, I mean, it still has snaps a lot, which I don't really get. But, you know, it's good. It's really good, actually. I really like it. One of the best Debian-based distributions. Then we have Elementary OS. Why does everyone like Elementary OS? It's okay. It really is just okay. I don't really know how to phrase how I feel about this. It's just one of the most average distributions I know of. So probably C tier. Then we have Garuda. I love Garuda Linux. I really do. Garuda Linux looks beautiful. It's basically Endeavour OS with a few themes, I guess, in a way. I like Garuda a lot. I'd say I'm gonna put it probably A tier. It's really solid, and if you're running it, you're on a really good choice. Manjaro. So you see, Manjaro, I really like it. I used to daily drive it for the longest time. I just hate the 2-week package delay. That's the only issue I have with Manjaro. The fact that you're going to have to wait 2 weeks before you can get any updates is just not good. Just for that reason, it's B tier. It's a great Arch-based distribution, and if you're running it, you're on a good operating system. It's just, gosh, I hate that. Then we have Fedora. I like Fedora. I'm gonna put it B tier. I mean, I don't really know what to say about it. It's just like good in my opinion. So MX Linux, it's very popular. I still have yet to, I've not tried it yet. I don't know. I have no idea. I've never tried it before. So I have no idea where to put this on the list. I don't know, C or B tier. I've heard some really good stuff about it, but B tier is also very crowded, so I'm going to put it C tier. I don't know. I've heard really good stuff about MX Linux, so yeah, if you're running it, you're on a great option. And then we have Nitrix, which honestly, I've never tried before, and the only reason why it's here is because, for some reason, TechRadar rated it as the best Linux distribution for beginners. What? I have never heard of it, and I have never seen anyone use it. Why is this on here? So I don't know. It looks okay, but it just looks like a macOS clone. So let's take a look at their website. How is it? It's a macOS clone. So I'm gonna put it D tier, because the fact that TechRadar wants brand new users to go to whatever this is ridiculous, and I'm just docking them points for that. Then we have Kali Linux. Hacker Linux. So the 5-year-olds who think they're going to be professional coders, this is their favorite distribution. Kali Linux is okay. I like it. It's a B tier. But like, I'm not going to daily drive Kali Linux because I don't care. It's Linux. I like it. It's better than Windows by far. But also at the same time, like, why would I? Then we have Endeavour OS. I love Endeavour OS, if you can't tell. Definite S tier. If I'm no. I'd say it's up here with these guys. If you want an Arch-based distribution, this is the way to go. You will want Endeavour OS. Endeavour OS is the best option I can think of when it comes to an Arch-based distribution when you don't want to install it all on your own. If you're like running low on time and you're like, oh man, I only have like 20 minutes, I gotta install an Arch-based distribution, then this is what you will run to. And honestly, even if you have a ton of time, I'd pick this any day of the week. I love Endeavour OS. especially the fact that you can just kind of choose what desktop environment you want when installing it. That is so awesome. I love Endeavour OS. It is awesome. Then we have Raspbian, Raspberry Pi OS. This is kind of like Linux Lite, really, except like it could run on a potato. It has its purpose. I'm not gonna go install Raspbian on my main PC. I'm gonna install it on a Raspberry Pi. I don't know. Probably B or C tier, because Linux Lite, you could install it on like an old laptop. On this, you're gonna want to run it on a Raspberry Pi, because it does not have many features, because it's so lightweight. Then we have Arch Linux. Come on, guys. Come on. I mean, you see I'm on Arch Linux. What do you think? See this? Yeah. I have to flex. Arch Linux is the best option if you want that amount of granular control on your system. For a new user, stay away. This is the worst thing to install if you're a new user. You need to know what you're doing. That's the entire point of Arch Linux, is just a good distribution if you know what you're doing. And honestly, it is perfect for me. So, definite S tier. And then we have Gentoo. I'll be honest, I've never tried Gentoo because, I don't have like 2 weeks to set aside to install it. I mean, it has some decent features, even though I've never tried it, obviously. So, I mean, I don't know. Probably A tier. I don't know. I mean, I've seen people install it on a Wii, which is pretty impressive, not gonna lie. And that's probably why it's an A tier, because, like, I honestly don't really know what Gentoo Linux has to offer. And also, it doesn't have the advantage that Arch Linux has of the Arch user repository. I'm pretty sure it just runs on DEB packages. Don't yell at me if I have that wrong. So, I don't know, A or B tier. B tier is looking pretty crowded, so A tier. And then we have the greatest Linux distribution on planet Earth, Jubuntu. So, if you have never heard of it before, Jubuntu, or Sabali, is just as it sounds. It is Ubuntu for Jews. Oh, it is so stupid. The main headline feature is that it like basically stops all of the work that you're doing when it's time for prayer. Honestly, I mean, it hasn't been updated in like 12 years, which is just, oh, it's so sad. So, I mean, F tier? No, you're an idiot. It's S tier. It beats all it gets its own tier. It's God tier. This is the greatest Linux distribution ever created, and you should daily drive it if you're a new user for sure. It is the best thing ever made. Anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this tier list, I'll see you in the next video, and I probably won't do a tier list unless I'm in the mood for something fun. Anyway, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.